Hi, everybody. Welcome to the African Businesswoman podcast. This is the place where ambition meets culture and women like you and I rise, will build, and will lead with power. This is the place for your weekly dose of inspiration, strategy, and real talk for women, rewriting the business story of Africa. I am your host, Loveline Massey. If you, as an African businesswoman who is single, who is an entrepreneur building her empire, marries someone who is a traditional person, and you are not a traditional person, there's a very good chance it's going to become a competition. It will feel like a competition at times because he sees things from a different perspective. And there's nothing wrong with the way he sees things. It's just that he doesn't see it from your perspective. He's got different beliefs, different values, and you've got different ones. So that is always going to clash. So you have to prepare for that. You have to really, really prepare for that. You have to know your self-worth, and you need to be grounded in it. Because if you're not grounded in it and you get married, you would not know who you are. Remember, I said earlier that I had not stepped into my own. And then by the time I was stepping into my own, I was already married. And now you have this friction and this conflict and all of that. And then you're trying to figure out how to resolve it, how to step past it if possible. And sometimes there's no stepping past it. And sometimes there's no moving beyond it. So you need to really prepare yourself. So, a few things I want to ask you, and I want you to think of this, and I want you to note this. Okay. Is your potential partner aligned with your long term visions? I mentioned this a bit earlier, but is your potential partner, is your potential husband aligned with your long term visions, with your long term goals, with your vision and your mission? Are they aligned to it as yours, or are they trying to override yours with theirs? Because your two visions should be able to fit together like hand and glove, right? And you walk together as one. Now, I'm not talking about the whole church thing, and I'm just being practical with reality. This is what. And yes, I am Christian. And even the Bible, the good book, talks about both parties submitting one to each other. So let's not get into that whole submission thing and all of that, because they try to use that submission thing that as a woman, you submit your entire vision and your entire life to the man. And no, but it's submit one to another. And if you're going to work with each other's vision, you should be able to submit one's vision to another. It should not be his vision overriding yours, and it shouldn't be your vision overriding his. Please, ladies, just because we are preaching women empowerment and all of that does not mean that you should now tell your husband or your partner that his vision is useless, doesn't matter, and no, because yours is now more valid. No, everybody's vision is valid. You should be able to sync them. But where one person tries to supersede the other one in terms of importance and say to the other one that I am more important than you and you should listen to me, that is where you have problems. So align it. Alignment is very important. Does the person you're trying to get together with, do they respect your business and your ambitions, or do they see them as competition? Initially, what I find is when men are trying to get married to you, they tell you, now I support your vision and ambitions. I support your career path. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve. Wait a few years down the line, they're like, you have to get my permission to get to travel. No, but you're working too much. You're not spending time with the kids for their homework and all of that. Then you find that you're doing housework in between meetings. You're the one doing the school runs. You're the one doing all of the other stuff, house and business. It then becomes as if you are being punished for succeeding. And this is what men don't tend to understand. When men don't rise to be partners to their spouses, it comes off as a punishment that the women are being punished and left with all of the responsibilities because they have chosen to pursue this high career path, this ambition. They've got big business and big entrepreneurship ambitions. So you need to align this. Talk openly about money before marriage. I will be the first one to say that there are a lot of things that we didn't discuss openly about. We just catered the surface of it, the top of it, and then we're like, oh, sharp, we're good. These things always bite you in the butt. Talk and talk. You cannot over talk about it. Watch out for partners who are financially dependent on you, but they are unwilling to grow. They don't want to grow. And you find some men like that. So please, just because you are a high-flying businesswoman does not mean you should take on a man who is going to try to dim your light, who does not want to grow and is financially dependent on you, does not support your entrepreneurship journey emotionally, spiritually, or even practically. They tell you to support it with words, but then in actions, they actually don't. So you need to understand how cultural traditions will impact your marriage and your independence, because they actually do. It's not about just saying, I support you. Somebody who believes, who says they're traditional, that will mess with your independence, because those two don't necessarily fit together. Don't get carried away with appearances. Don't just get carried away with sweet talk. Don't just get carried away with material things. Watch out for integrity, consistency, how they treat others. And really, even when you find somebody who, on the face of it, looks like they've got integrity and they treat others nice and good, it doesn't mean that they will treat you good. But if you watch for the red flags, and sometimes you wave, somebody said you're busy collecting red flags because you're not paying attention to them. If you watch out for those, you will actually make significant stride. You will help yourself a lot. Now, if you're a business person, consider a prenuptial agreement like the marriage contract. Consider it. It's not about whether you love the person or not, it's also to protect both of you. Because sometimes one partner can overextend in business and the security of the family then falls on the other partner. So it's not about like you're trying to hide money away from the other one necessarily. Some people do it for that. But a lot of times it's because you're trying to protect the family unit as a whole. Okay, so ensure your business remains legally protected regardless of marital status. If you're married to somebody who you can do business with, fantastic. And your visions align for the business, that is absolutely great. I had to realize at a point that my spouse had totally different business things he wanted to do. I had business things I wanted to do, and both of us working in the same business did not work. It just didn't work. And once I realized that, I said we need to separate our business interests so that you run yours independently and I run mine independently. And because we have different goals, different visions for the business, I have what I want to do and you have what you want to do that I don't necessarily agree with and you don't necessarily agree with mine, but it doesn't mean that we have to butt heads on it. So 2 points of reflection and then I'll close. Ask yourself, what kind of partner aligns with your vision? Are you preparing your business and heart equally for the future? So this marriage choice, are you preparing it for the future? You need to think about that. Listen, marriage is beautiful, business is powerful. So as much as marriage is beautiful, business is powerful. But you must protect your peace, your purpose, and prosperity in both of them. Both of them don't need to clash. They can and they do coexist. But you have to think. Use your brain, use your head, not just your heart, when making a decision of your partner, because that can actually affect the growth of your business. So, this has been my schlub for today. And I really hope that you take it to heart. Share this with another single sister out there so that she just listens and she's motivated and she's prepared for what she needs to do. These are stuff that was not discussed with me before I got married, and I wish someone had discussed them with me. So I'm sharing them with you. So thank you for listening today. Okay. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment on this podcast. Share it with the world. Share it with other people. I am Loveland Bassi, and this has been the African Businesswoman Podcast. Until next time, ladies, walk in power, lead with purpose, keep building, keep rising. Remember your legacy starts now, and never forget, Africa needs your voice. Bye.